Hey guys, welcome back to another live trading video. Today we're taking a look at the pound yen, and I just picked up a long position on this pullback today after a huge spike in the pound across the board we saw because of some interest rate news that came out from the Bank of England. Basically, there was a surprise rate hike, which when that happens causes a lot of volatility in the market, and I actually picked up a long position on the pound yen based predominantly on fundamentals today, but then just liked this pullback to a technical zone. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to film the trade start to finish. Whether it's a win or a loss, you will see it. It is a real trade. That's what I mean by live trading. It's no fake, no demo, no BS, no MetaTrader manipulation, none of that. It is real trades on a real broker, on a real account. And the goal here is to film this trade start to finish, show you guys how it plays out, my thought process, and whether it's a win or a loss, hopefully put some value out there on YouTube for the trading community. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so pound yen pulled back here today after this big spike to the upside on the Bank of England's announcement of rate hikes, which was a huge thing, huge bullish catalyst in my view. And again, you can see all the moving averages looking really strong here on the 1 hour chart as everything just started pushing to the upside off of this news. And funny enough, I actually thought this was kind of interesting. Before the news actually came out, it seemed like we started to see the pound shift, even though in recent times it's been nothing but sell, 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 sell. Well, it seemed to have found a bottom, and maybe someone knew beforehand. You never know with markets. They can kind of be crazy. But what I've done is I've risked about 50 pips here on the trade to the downside. Should things continue to drop further, of course, I will stop out quickly. My goal in this case, is to risk small. I'm risking $100 on this account, which is not that much compared to, the account. And the goal is just to risk small and essentially, if I'm wrong, stop out for a small loss. But if I'm right, hopefully catch a good move here. Now, with that said, when I say a good move, I would love to see this thing rally back to highs and maybe even break out and continue higher, because we do have something to talk about on the higher time frames. So let me take a look at the technicals here with you, because this is where things get a little bit controversial. Check this out. We can look at the daily chart, actually. That might be the easiest way. And look at this. Pound yen is just tagging resistance and just dropped, right? Beautiful resistance point. Honestly, a really great place to sell if you're looking at this. So, Nick, why the heck are you buying? Well, the reason behind that is because I think that this catalyst, the fundamental catalyst, has the potential to break us out of this zone. And after we pulled back, I think that there's a good chance that we could try again to get through that zone, even though we saw a big initial rejection. So my goal here, again, big resistance point here. If price can break through that level, it could be a huge shift in momentum for the pound yen. But again, my goal here is I am buying on a retest because I believe fundamentally this thing has a potential kind of short squeeze going on. I think there's probably a lot of institutional traders who have been short, making their money on the downside, and now they're probably looking to cover positions in a creative way. And maybe this little pullback is just a pullback before a nice rally. Again, I could be completely wrong about this. Here's your 4 hour view, price pulling back to a level that I like, and again, going to take a stab here at a long trade with a stop loss on my trade. So let's take a look at the trade alert just so you can see a little bit more context and why I took this trade. Again, every trade that I take, I share inside of our private Discord channel. If you have an interest in joining that and seeing the trades that I'm taking in real time, you can get a text, or not a text, like an alert on your phone or on your computer with any new trades being taken by myself or one of our other analysts within the private Discord. So anyways, I just sent out this new trade alert here just a few minutes ago, my buy trade on pound yen with my entry and my stop. And the analysis, as we talked about, nice little pullback on that 1 hour chart after a big momentum push to the upside. And even though it's a little bit counter trend, I'm still willing to take the risk here that things could break out and continue to change directions after the Bank of England made a surprise rate hike, which again is a big catalyst for bullishness on a particular market. I think this could cause a large amount of institutional buying or short covering to offset the risk of a more hawkish Bank of England. Shorting yen as markets seem to be rebounding strong from Omicron. Ultron. Don't know how to say it still. Concerns, right? We see markets kind of getting strong here. We saw the stock market making a big push yesterday. And so I am overall kind of back into that risk on appetite mode, putting in that higher low. And so when I look at something like pound yen, which is inherently a more aggressive currency versus a more conservative conservative, stable currency, I'm looking to take that more aggressive stance and look to buy pound yen as it pulls back to support. That's the goal here. So what I'll do is I will pause the video, give it some time to start playing out. And once there's an action here, whether I stop out or start to make profit, I'll cover the update in the next part of this video. So with that said, I'll go ahead and pause. And now, time for a quick trade recap overview. Alright you guys, and here's a little update on the GJ trade. I am currently stopped out of my first trade, but I did decide to actually enter into a second position. So let's take a look at this together. So you can see here, this is where I initially got in. Markets trailed down a little bit further, did not catch the entry I was looking for. A little bit of a spike there initially, but then rolled right on over. So I did decide to go ahead and stop out, as you saw in my previous film or previous recording. I basically had my stop in place, got stopped out for about $100 lost on the initial GJ trade. Now I've got a second trade open, so we're kind of resetting here, and I just wanted to continue to roll the video just because I am actually deciding to take another position here. I like the retracement, and I still really like that fundamental catalyst. So I went ahead and updated traders, just letting them know that I am basically putting a fresh trade on, another stop here of just 40 pips. And if price hits me out for a stop loss this time, then again, still taking small controlled risk. It's not going to kill me or anything, but I am willing to take a secondary trade to try and get a little bit better of an entry point on my initial thesis. I'm not opposed to doing this. Again, you know, somebody might say, oh, you're adding to a losing trade, but the idea here is I'm basically just trying again, and that's perfectly fine in my trading style. The approach, you know, that I take is relatively tight stop losses for larger potential gains. And what that means is sometimes I get stopped out of a trade and it causes me to have to re-enter. So I am back in for another attempt here on GJ with another 40 pips risk there. So we'll see how this plays out from here. But the goal would be to see if we can get a little bit of a rally off of this zone of support that we've come into from the previous day's price action going on here. So I'd like to see if this level can hold. If it does, I'll continue to try and hold this trade into a winning position. And if it breaks lower, then I'll go ahead and stop out and bail on this idea for now until something else sets up. So with that said, I'll pause and keep you guys updated on this adventure we're on GJ. Well, you guys, things did not go to plan here on pound yen. In the end, we took 2 losses on this. And of course, that's not the ideal situation for any trading setup to take double losses here. So I ended up taking a loss of around $300 total, which again is not the end of the world, but it's definitely a bit frustrating when it happens to you. My initial thesis was that we could get a bounce off of structure here, and yen strength just persisted. We had more concerns come into the market, which caused a little bit more downside here on the pair, which ultimately stopped me out overnight here for my second position. So I entered here, stopped out here, entered here, stopped out somewhere around here. I can't remember exactly. I don't know why the order is not showing up here. That's kind of strange, but I am out of this trade here. So maybe if we see it on the 30-minute chart, we could see it. Maybe, possibly. Oh, that's my fault. We bought here, closed out here. Yeah. So, and kind of happy that I did, because it seems like pound yen is still headed lower for the time being. And sometimes this happens. Sometimes the market just throws you kind of a teaser. It looks good, everything sets up, and then it just doesn't work out. And I can already see it. There will be comments, you know, occasionally that I'll get on my channel like, Nick, you should have paid attention to XYZ or this or that, and then you wouldn't have had a loss on your trade, right? But the reason I share these videos is to tell you that, you know, sometimes traders will show, or content creators will show only what they want you to see. They just want you to see them taking big, massive W's, making tons of money on the market, right? And the thing is, I take trades like this all the time. Very similar setups, pullbacks in momentum-based setups. I guess the one thing that I kind of knew going into this and why I risked small was that this is sort of counter trend if you look at the 4-hour chart. But I do know that, right? So I took that trade anyways. sideways based off of the fundamental catalyst. And of course, I'm gonna look foolish in hindsight after the fact. Had this thing broken out, would have been great, right? Would have looked like a hero. But again, that's trading for you. Sometimes you have an idea and sometimes you're just flat out wrong. So I'll accept defeat here. I'll take my loss. I'm not gonna hold on to a loser and beg the market to go back the other way. I'm gonna, close out and look to maybe re-enter on something else here later on. I've got a position open right now that is in profit, so that's good on a different currency pair. So maybe you'll see that trading video coming up soon. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this more transparent level of a video, of course, it's not my most pride and joy video to post, but I'm going to post it anyways because that's the goal of this channel, is to keep it real about Forex trading. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and we'll see you back next time. What's up guys? Thanks for watching today's video. There are more videos available on our channel here and here, so go ahead and click into that for some more free trading content. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time.